Welcome back to the PulpMX Fantasy Show presented by Maxxis Tire. My name is Donnie. In this video, I have 5 riders I want you to pay attention to when making your picks, tips for the FFL, weather report, race day schedule, and an early look at my preliminary team for Indianapolis. But before we get to that, let's talk about who's in and who is out this weekend. First, I will be there, so if you see me bopping around Lucas Oil Stadium, feel free to stop me and say hey. But as far as riders go, we will lose Chance Hymas for the rest of the season, as he was only scheduled to race up to Daytona before getting ready for a full rookie season outdoors. Justin Cooper has a similar setup and will not be lining up this weekend on the 450s. But to replace those, we have a ton of 450 guys coming back from missing Daytona. Ferrandis and Nichols were last-minute scratches last weekend, and they look ready to go in Indy. A-Ray and AC are coming back from injury as well, and it looks like rookie RJ Hampshire will give it another go on the big bike this weekend. Remember that PulpMX has 2 features to help you not get a 0 in fantasy. The first is the red cross icon next to the riders pictured to denote that they are currently suffering from an injury, and the second is the little checkbox to hit after qualifying is wrapped up that will filter out every rider that did not even put down a single lap time. All right. This weekend, I have 3 riders I want you to look at, 1 guy to stay away from, and a high handicap guy for those of you that prefer to gamble rather than to play fantasy. First things first, the obvious 250 All-Star pick is Hunter Lawrence at a 1, but y'all knew that, so if you had him last week or you want to swerve, let's talk Jeremy Martin. The PulpMX Yamaha rider won a Triple Crown round in Arlington on his way to 6th overall, and that has been his worst finish of the year. And don't forget that J-Mart won the East-West Showdown here in Indy way back in 2018. The number 6 has quietly gone 5-5-6-5 this season, and at a 4 handicap, that is quite a bargain. My do not pick of the weekend is TLD Gas Gas's Michael Mosiman. The 31 has had a rough go of it in the first half of 2023 season after coming in as the favorite to challenge Hunter for the title, and he has been nowhere close to the front, going 6-7-7 with a DNF at Daytona while running 7th. I don't doubt that he'll be top 10 or even top 8 to get those double points, but I just don't see him miraculously putting it together at the midpoint of the season to contend deep with those top 5 guys that have been doing it consistently every week. Quite frankly, there are just better picks in the class this weekend. 450 side, I think it's the safest bet to run one of the top 3 again, and this week I have my eye on Cooper Webb. He and Eli have been broken away, swapping 1st and 2nd these last few rounds, and the number 2 has finished top 2 in 6 of 8 this season, as well as posting 2-4-3-3 finishes in this very stadium the last 4 times that he was here. One guy that I think has a ton of value this weekend, as long as he looks good after missing Daytona, is Colt Nichols. He comes in with a 4 handicap, and I just don't see a scenario that he doesn't capitalize on that. His worst finish of the year is a 14, and sure, AC and Ferrandis return, but Cooper and Savacci step out, so that's probably a wash. The low handicap of the 450 class is getting tight on value, so we really do need to focus on these bumps after a bad round, and Colt is in the perfect spot for that here. The high handicap hero of the round given to a rider with a handicap of 10 or more that I think has a realistic chance to score massive points this weekend if you're the type of person that likes to sweat out a little LCQ action for that big payout. This week, I am looking at your mom's favorite privateer, and that is Kevin Moranz. The young KTM rider with the big grin permanently plastered on his face is finally back up in double digits at a 10 after throwing away his transfer spot in the LCQ, attempting a new line he wanted to use in the main event. Kev has made 6 of 8 mains and finished as high as 14th in Houston. He has got to be as sure of a bet as you'll find in this high handicap bargain bin. Moving on to the FFLs, I think a trend is finally starting to emerge, and it's between Hunter Lawrence and Nate Thrasher in the 250s if Hunter lets Thrasher make it through the first lap. The track map this week shows the finish is almost an entire lap from the start, so no quick upsets here. They gotta hold it down for the whole 40 seconds. 450 side, Webb snags his 2nd of the year, but I still think it's a battle between Sexton and Tomac, who both lead the class with 3. I feel like Chase is definitely the better starter and early race sprinter, but his confidence is definitely taking a hit as he sees the point situation starting to slip away. I think I like Tomac this weekend carrying all of that momentum. Midwest rounds means Midwest weather, as we're looking at a high of just 45 in Indianapolis this weekend, but thankfully, the Lucas Oil bubble will be nice and warm inside. Your typical East Coast schedule with qualifying coverage beginning at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific. RotoMoto patrons get the enhanced cheat sheet 30 minutes earlier than the rest at 5:30 Eastern, before the basic cheat sheets are dropped on Twitter and Instagram about 1 hour before the gates drop, which they will at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. Before I show you my early team, I want to talk about Maxxis Tire coming on for all 17 rounds so I can deliver these videos for you. You know Maxxis Tire. You know their MX ST tire designed by the king of Supercross and my all-time favorite rider, Jeremy McGrath. It is the newest and most advanced tire in the Maxxis MX lineup, featuring an all-new tread pattern, compound, and composition to provide the stability, predictability, and traction that the upper tiers of motocross demand. Available at your local retailer and also at motosport.com. My Thursday team looks like this. I had J-Mart last week, so I'm back on the Hunter train here at a 1. Jace Owen looking to bounce back with a 5. Henry Miller the same, but at a 6. And local product Jeremy Hand with a 7 in the 250 class. On the big bikes, my team is anchored by Coop and his 1 handicap. I like Colt 4 D5. I have Josh Hill penciled in at a 6 until I see what AC and Dylan look like, as well as Sugar Shane McElrath at a 7. The prize for the highest championship league score in Indy will be an autographed RJ Hampshire jersey, but if you're not great at fantasy, that is okay. If you want a chance to win authentic race shoes and autographed memorabilia, consider joining me over on Patreon for just about $1 per week. You are entered to win race shoes and autographed memorabilia, and insiders and above double their entries, as well as an exclusive podcast talking fantasy stats on every rider in the field, and that enhanced cheat sheet that comes out every single Saturday. Link for that will be in the description below. And don't forget to follow at PulpMX Fantasy and at RotoXMoto on both Instagram and Twitter for injury updates as the weekend rolls on, qualifying info, and the stats and banter throughout the race itself, and those fantasy cheat sheets, of course, once qualifying is done and wrapped. Thanks as always for watching the PulpMX Fantasy Show presented by Maxxis Tire. My name is Donnie, and may your chiz this weekend. Remember that 8 is great, and most importantly, please have fun. Good luck, y'all.